In this example, we are going to test an application that connects to some external API. We have this My Web API module that connects to the Daily Mail website in the UK, and using the count string method, it will count how many times a certain string appears. Or certain strings appear. So the way we tested that, we created a test script. We load the module My Web API, create an object of that module, calling the new method, and then before actually we're testing, let's see what actually this function returns. So we call the diag function provided by test more that will print out something, explain that will print out it will do a dumping of the data structure, and then we call the count strings method of the module and pass to it the strings Beyonce and Miley Cyrus that we would like to see how many times they appear. So now we can just run this test script. It will get to the website and return this data structure where we can see Beyonce 25 times and Miley Cyrus 3 times. Now, in order to write a test, we are going to use the isDeeply function, passing to it the actual data and the expected data, which is a hash reference containing the name and number pairs that we saw in the actual result. We can go back to the console and run the script, and now without touching the and now it checks the actual numbers. The problem is that if the website changes, then these numbers will change and our test will break, even though the script is working. So instead of that, instead of every time accessing the actual website, we use the test mock simple module. We load it, and then use it to override the get function provided by LWSimple. So the way we do it is we create a mock object, $mock, and tell it to actually mock something in the My Web API module. That's instead of using the module directly by yourself. And then before actually running the count string method, we call the add method on this mock object and tell it to replace the get function with this anonymous subroutine, which the only thing it does is returns a predefined string having Beyonce in it twice and Miley Cyrus once. Of course, then the expected numbers are also different, so we're going to update that too to Beyonce twice and Miley Cyrus once. Now, if we go to the console and run the script again, it will already skip. We won't touch the website, but we'll be able to compare the numbers. This way, we can actually copy-paste this part and have more test cases. For example, we can have the test case when the get function returns nothing, an empty string, and then maybe because the website didn't answer, and then the expected numbers are of course 0 in both cases. In order to make sure that everything works, we also have to update the plan to two test cases. We run the script, the numbers are okay, fine. We can go on and add another case. What happens if the get function actually throws an exception? I don't know if this get function can do that, but how does the module behave in that case? Will that catch the exception? What will happen? This is something that you can't really test without faking how the get actually works, because it's very hard to get the website to return something that will throw an exception. So we just call die and then see what happens then. We also have to update the test number. We run the script, and as you can see, it threw an exception and the module didn't catch it. It just crashed. So there's something that we might need to fix in the module, but definitely this is a good way to test something, that an error case that otherwise won't happen normally. So now let's try something else. Instead of throwing an exception, write a different string. What happens if in the return string the name Miley Cyrus is actually written on 2 lines? So there is a new line in between the word Miley and the word Cyrus. And we are of course still expecting, now we are expecting 2 numbers, 2 of the appearances, but as you can see, the module actually returns only 1. So apparently we found a bug in the module.